fresh. We've landed in Cape Town. Great. Now to get the bikes out and get ready to start the travels. We've got a little bit of time to kill, so we'll be wandering around having a quick look what entertainment the city has to offer. This is the second biggest city in South Africa after Johannesburg, with Table Mountain always looming over it. A view from the balcony, where we're staying in Long Street, has some entertainment that comes on nightly. There's been significant delays in getting the bikes processed and through the port, and that's a story for another time. Yes, we've got the bikes. It took all day down there at 9 o'clock in the morning. We got the container down around the middle of the day, opened it up, had to get a camper van out of the container first to get to the back where the bikes were stored, and their crates, got them out, put some fuel in, reconnected the battery, fired up straight away. That was great. Had to hang around till the end of the day to get all the paperwork signed off, stamped, etc. So as you can see, we're ready to ride off into the sunset. Tomorrow morning, taking the bike down to Fast KTM here in Cape Town, and they're going to do a few little mods and a few little tidy ups on the bike, and then we're ready to hit the road. Our bags are packed, the bike's loaded. It's taken a few hours this morning to get everything sorted and squeezed onto the bike. Today, we're heading north, up to a town called Steenkamp, about 610 kilometres. Now, just better get our tyre pressures sorted here, just before we hit the road. Having a bit of trouble getting onto the valve. I'll leave it up to the expert. I'm sure he's better at it than I would be.
The spokes.
Yes.
The problem is the spokes. That's it.
Oh, 2.5, yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, very good. Very good. Right, we're set to go. Time to say goodbye to Table Mountain. Had a few days to kill while we were waiting for the bikes to be released, but now they're released. We're on the N7 heading up towards Namibia. Yeah! We're going to get fairly close to the border within about half a day of it and stay the night there. It's just a little quick 600 kilometre run straight up the N7. It's been over an hour since we left the built-up areas of Cape Town, and the agriculture on both sides of the road has been ploughed fields and some grapevines along the way. I believe they're growing mostly wheat and canola. Must be quite a large bread basket here. No livestock to be seen anywhere.
Temperature outside 31 degrees.
The logistics of moto travel varies. Some choose to take camping gear and cookers and do all their own meals and accommodation effectively. It helps the budget go further. Or the other end is to take an organised group tour with some moto, accommodation, itinerary all organised and supplied. A fly-in and a fly-out approach. We do know one operator with a Kiwi connection in Windhoek, Namibia, that we're hoping to catch up with, Namibian Motorcycles. They have a great setup there. They even have a van that comes on the tours with a mechanic, so you don't even have to change your flat tyres. Luxury. Or you could just rent a bike off them and go and do your own thing. Our shadows are getting longer, the sun is going down, and still over 300 kilometres to our destination. Just stopped in to get some petrol. The petrol stations are getting a bit thin on the ground. As we head further north, the bikes should theoretically do up to 400 kilometres on a full tank. Obviously we're going further than that today and need to fill up. Also, because we're trying to get there as quickly as we can, we're keeping the revs up. We'll probably be only in reality getting close to 300, but over 300 kilometres per tank. It's starting to get dark. The last couple of hours we're in the dark. Unfortunately, it was all good sealed roads. Now we're into the township, onto the final street, and we're on unsealed roads. We're here.
Yeah.
It was a long trip for us.
Yes. I was expecting you tomorrow. Is it straight at least?
Yes.
Oh.
Right, we just make our way around to the back here to the rooms. That looks a comfortable bed. I'm looking forward to that. Even though we weren't expected today, the host is going to make us a meal, which is fantastic, because it's now about 9 o'clock and it's been a long day, and a warm meal would be greatly appreciated. This is day 2 of our ride. We had a great night's sleep here, having wonderful meals, good breakfast. We're ready to hit the road. Today we're going up to the Namibian border. It's about just over 200 kilometres to the northwest of where we are. Should take most of the day as we're going to go through some of the back roads. I'll show you on the map where that is exactly. And now this morning we're going to start heading up to the border at Drift through the back roads there. This was where we stayed last night. Lovely little spot. More than adequate for our purposes.
We're all ready to check out and start heading a little bit further north. Love the barn doors here. Easy in and out. Yes. Bike's all packed up, ready to go. Just make our way out from around the back here. You may or may not see a rather low clothesline we have to get under. Our host here told me that a lot of their clientele is hikers in the area, as well as people that ride push bikes, that's pedal bikes, literally from one end of the continent to the other. That's quite a feat if you ask me. I think I'll stick to the petrol power. But right now, we want to do some selfies, emotional photos with us. That's fine.
It come a little bit further forward. There we go. There we go. Very good.
Just leaving Steinkopf. Well, actually, we're just going to go and get some petrol before we go too much further, which should last us the rest of the trip. But this is a bit of a one-horse town in the middle of a desert, really. But it's one of its main claims to fame is that it has a lot of artesian water. So obviously, you need water for life. And population, I believe, of around 12,000 people. Supported by tourism, and more recently a lot of mining is being developed in this part of the continent, so they expect to have more demand for facilities here, which will be good for the locals. Quick stop for some fuel. One of the important things of getting fuel is parking in the shade, because it's 28 degrees. Yeah, that's enough. Essentially, we're heading to the west, in a westward direction. We'll get about halfway to the coast, and then we'll head north, and we're going to a little border town called Spendelingsdrift. And according to the GPS, we'll get there at 3:02 without any stops, I'm guessing. 201 kilometres to go. So I think that's all doable. Let's get on with the show. I spoke about the logistics of moto travel. If you're going to be riding for 3 or 4 weeks or more, economically, that's about the crossover from the cost of renting versus the cost of shipping. You can see that pros and cons of shipping, that is TIA, are things you have to think about. However, with your own bike, you have your own setup and you have something you're familiar with. For me, regarding accommodation, I have too much age and too much dignity to go tenting and fending for my own meals. So for me, I'm looking for accommodation that is security for the bikes, a soft bed, hot meal, and maybe a cold beer at the end of the day will wash away the dust. Having dinners and breakfasts at the accommodation is just more convenient and time efficient instead of having to go and look for these elsewhere. Goats seem to be the most common livestock we've seen so far. Still haven't seen many of them just the same. All right, this is us down the busy road. We're riding two abreast at the moment, and there's a good reason for that. We don't want to have to clean our air filters more than we need to. So, if we're side by side, there won't be a problem.
We won't be sucking up each other's dust. That's the theory. 34 degrees. Nice and warm. Toasty, in fact. We seem to have got out of the sandy patches further back down in that gully once we came up over the rinds. We can't board a loose metal now, so we can pick up the pace a little bit, but man, what about a huge open space, and only 2 of us on the road so far for the last 40 k's.
We're just going to stop for a break to have a bit to eat and drink. This is a small town called Fontaine, population of around 500, whose history is basically they were removed from the white farming areas at the start of the apartheid era in the 1940s. They live mostly off farming here and also a bit of diamond mining in the area. This looks like a shady spot. And stop here, get a bit of a drink and bite to eat. Looks like there's a bit of a school here. I think the kids are going to come over and say hello. Oh no, they're scared off.
There's a little bit of sand, just a little bit, but that's okay. Long, straight, dusty road. We've now entered the National Park or Sendingling Drift at the sign in at the gate. I think in the far, just as I can see, a dust cloud of a car coming towards us. Just could past about 3 or 4 cars in total the whole day coming the other way. And here we are. Reception ahead.
Booked in, accommodation paid for.
This is our little accommodation tonight. Waterfront real estate. Doesn't get any better. And in case you're wondering what's across the river, that's Namibia. Namibia. And that is the Orange River, which is the border between the two countries. Fantastic. You can see it and smell it. Tomorrow we'll touch it.
That's today, done and dusted, literally dusted. Really enjoyed the roads we were on today. Wonderful, wonderful. Just in the middle of nowhere. Could probably count on the fingers how many cars we passed going the other way. It was really great. Starting to get a feel for just how big and empty this part of the world is. Tomorrow we cross the border and we've got a few of the things that you need to go and see when you're in this part of the world to cover. It'll be a fairly full day, so tune in and see what we do. Thanks.
And of course, the obligatory like, subscribe, comment. Thank you very much.